Your ancestors are literally, and not literally, not symbolically, they're literally trying to reach you right now. Yeah, you. And you keep missing it. I was missing it. All newbies are missing it, okay? And how would you know? And it's not because you're not spiritual enough. It's not because you don't know your gifts. It's not because you're really even doing it wrong, because there's so many ways to connect to your ancestors when you're getting started. And just in general. But it's because something is in between you. But nobody's told you exactly what that was until now, okay? I had to walk it myself and run into the same issues before I recognize them. Okay. If you've been calling your ancestors and feeling silence, feeling like they're not there, you're not getting any response, nothing, a flicker, nothing, like maybe you felt something, but it's gone, it went away. Look, I need you to hear me. Okay. I need you to hear me. They're not ignoring you. Okay. They're not. But here are 5 things that may be blocking the signal between you. Now, one, I need you to understand this. I dealt with these myself, every single one of them, and we all do. And you deserve to know this so you don't be so hard on yourself. Okay. Number one, always remember this. You are connected to your ancestors, they are within you. But we got to clear away some of those things that block energetically you from hearing it. Now, let's get into it. Unprocessed emotions. Okay. Yeah. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Your unprocessed emotions. You've been collecting them because we have conditioning that says our emotions and expressing them make us weak. Even people who it's socially acceptable for, like women, still, I was taught that. I felt like crying made me look weak. So I did as minimal as possible. I wasn't going to let you break me. But you need to understand and be reminded that emotion is energy. It's raw energy, and it's energy that hasn't moved. And anytime energy ain't moving, it creates static and it creates a real energetic block. Okay. But it's invisible because you can't see it. So, stagnation. It's kind of like trying to call somebody in the middle of a storm, right? It's not just grief, it's not just rage. It is, abandonment. It's not just the emotions, but it's like the things that happen underneath it. Even your fear, your doubt, all those things that you swallowed from other people, the fear that we normalize, the sadness that you never really gave a name to, that is living within your field. And so it's harder for spirit to get through that noise when you haven't acknowledged that it's even there. But we all have some of that. We inherit that, and so that feeling, that subtle feeling really is the channel being activated and moving. And so clearing that is something that you have to continuously practice. That's why they say a spiritual practice, because it's like you're digging and you're making that clearing, space so that you can connect. Okay, let's get into block 2, a busy mind. What creates a busy mind? Thoughts and ideas that are attracted to us based on the conditioning that we've inherited. So you've got beliefs that are destructive, that are in your field because they're in the environment in which you live in and the people who you live within, because your energy mingles with other energies because you are a energetic being. Okay. And see, your ancestors do not speak louder than the what they call the ego. I say the wounded, that mind, that busy mind, that monkey mind, right? The ancestors and spirit speaks subtly. And so it's deeper and slower. They speak underneath. And oftentimes we're trained, conditioned to listen to the louder one, right? And if your mind is always following all of these thoughts, over analyzing, always on, you will miss, right? You will miss those messages from your own spirit and your ancestors. And so the remedy to that is intentional time where you are stealing, not stealing your mind, stealing yourself and letting the thoughts, practicing not grabbing, right? As they say, observing. I just say not grabbing, just letting them go on by. When you do this as a practice, you are clearing space to connect with your own spirit and hear it more clearly, but also your ancestors, your guides, and all those ready to help you. That's when the real comes through. And the more that you clear that, your lens is much more clear because the message is only as clear as the filter. And that is you. Okay. Understand that when listening to channel messages. Okay. Discernment. Okay. Let's get into 3. Okay. 3. Are you still with me? And if this has impacted you, like, have you ever got a reading from somebody and it just didn't hit? It just didn't hit. Okay. The filter. You know what I'm saying? The message comes through the filter. And you always got to remember that. Block 3, no physical altar. Now, I know a lot of people like, you the altar, you don't need, you might have heard that, and you are, right? I'm not saying that you're not, okay? Here's what most people do not understand about the altar as a spiritual technology, as a tool, what an altar actually is, and really why it works. So, if you have decided to connect to your ancestors, and you remember, we're coming from a spiritual perspective, we're trying to develop a relationship. This is not a one and done thing. This is not a, we're trying to just see if it's real. This is you coming with an intention, right? So, one, of course, you are the altar, right? But you are an altar working with an altar as a form of spiritual technology. You're the antenna, you're the conductor, all of that matters, right? But when you get to that altar, the role of that altar, especially when you are new to this, to developing this relationship. The physical altar, one, grounds this experience into matter because that is where we are. This strengthens the connection off top, period, because it just exists. Like when they say, write your vision, when you write it, you take it out of the ether, you take it out of the Akasha, and you strengthen it by putting it in matter. Okay. That's why you have it just, that's how the cosmic power works. Okay. Side note, that was too much. Let me focus. Okay, y'all, the ADHD got to me, but that was a gem. Keep that one. Somebody put that in the comments. So you are the altar, you are the antenna, you are the cosmic conductor, as I love to say. But when you're starting this practice out, you know that, but you don't understand that fully. And you're going to now practice it through working with an altar. The physical altar puts it into the real world. It strengthens the connection. It strengthens all the sensory because you're activating everything. Like you are speaking to spirit through symbol, right? And it activates you and your subconscious, and it activates on the other side as well with spirit. It is a physical thing that's happening to you. So when you give representation of something physical and take it from symbol to physical, that makes it that much more powerful, and it strengthens it. The altar and the symbols, the tools, all the colors, all of that are speaking directly to your subconscious, okay? Through symbol, through water, the elements. That's a language that spirit understands, okay? And that's why ritual works and spells work. Because the one creation is a natural part. Like it used to be called a magic. Okay. It's not because that's how it works. That is what magic is. It is what you already do, but with intention, with the intention to transform something and change something. You were the magic. You were the cosmic conductor. And you are calling these things to communicate and have a conversation and to help you focus, most importantly, right? But to speak this intention and to start activating this and getting some weight behind it. But most importantly, that altar has you somewhere to focus that energy and transmute that and send that off. And usually all you need is a water. So all you need for that is a candle and a glass of water and a clean, quiet surface. And if you just need it for temporary to help you focus, then put it up and then take it down. Like, don't complicate it. That's it. Let's get into block 4. We're going to talk about fear. We are going to talk about fear. First off, you the funeral. Okay. All right, let me get serious here. Okay, because I know this is something that everyone struggles with, whether they want to say or not, especially when you're new to this. But just listen to me. Okay, I've been on this journey 10 years. I'm going to slow it down because this one is different. You can do everything right at the altar. Be still, be present, your breath work. But if you are approaching your ancestors, come on now. If you are approaching your ancestors from fear, what you send out will come back to you. What you send out will come back to you. And let's be very clear on this. Ain't no reason to fear because you are physical in the physical world. And ain't no need to be scared of no spirit. And that's on my ancestors. Because see, fear is feeding that they're far away from you and not within you, that you're not worthy enough to have this type of support, that this is wrong, that this is demonic, that something might come through that you can't handle and that ain't been handled before at some point in time in your life, all that you had to survive. It reinforces that the ancestors are something to be afraid of and not something to partner with and not someone that is a part of you. They are already a part of you. They are the part of you that already made it through everything you're walking through right now. Right now. So before you call out, check what you are calling from and just say it hand over heart. I am the continuation of courageous, brave, and worthy people. I invite my loving ancestors, my wise ancestors, the ancestors who are ready to help me, back me, and support me in doing this work to change my life and myself and this lineage. And they mean it. Mean it. Watch the next video and do that. Like, do a journal prompt, do set up that altar, light that candle, ritualize that, and mean it. Okay, this is the last one. Block 5. Okay, block 5. Now this one, we can blame it on the media, because yes, they do be manipulating us. Yes, they do. A lot of folks are expecting communicating with their ancestors and connecting to be this big production, be loud. You don't even know what to experience. In fact, there's so much performance, even in religious spaces, that you truly don't know what to experience in this ritual for the first time, in this reconnecting with spirits. You don't know. So a lot of us are looking for all of this. Spirit speaks subtly. Your ancestors speak in the subtle layer of your field. I can count on my one, maybe two hands, how many times I've had such a loud, and even loud, it wasn't loud in that way, like physically experience an energetic loudness of like, oh, whoa, like literally, because just a little tidbit there, I took that demand off the table from spirit. I just needed the power and the guidance, the protection and support. I don't need to see you, because I know that takes a lot of energy. And it was reinforcing to me that it wasn't real until I could see it. And that's how we hold on to ideas that aren't helpful to us on our journey. You see how that can be a block, expecting, I need to see it to believe it. Okay. Then you see something you don't want to see. Like, because think about the energy that's coming from and what needs to prove something to you. Spirit is very clear and aware of how they shape and impact this world. We are the ones who are forgotten. Expecting a show. This ain't no show and tell. One thing I did one day when I was frustrated, I decided that I didn't need to see spirit anymore. I didn't have that desire anymore. I don't need to see it for it to be real. What I needed was power when I was in that descent. What I needed was protection and guidance for the work that I was committing to do. And I said that. I released that because that was an old belief that said, I need to see this. I need more and more proof. But I wanted to keep moving. And sometimes you make a pact and a vow out of anger and desperation. And I did that. And releasing the need to see, because I've been taught that, getting a vision looks like this. Ain't that so, Raven? They need to exaggerate those things. It's entertainment. And some people do experience, but that doesn't mean anything. That is not the determiner of your connection to spirit. We've been conditioned to expect these connections to look like the movies, like Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Demons, like what we've been taught. That's not how none of this stuff look. The subtleties, I'm going to keep saying that your ancestors speak through symbols and subtleties, and they're no louder than the loudest voice in your head. The one that's doing all the ripping and running, and you following behind, because I lived that. They don't speak louder than your thoughts. Speak underneath, and they sound like you, and they feel through you. And so also it's important to remember, you don't need no big showy experience. This connection isn't this one-time event, babe. Like, you are building relationship. And so you're laying layers. You're clearing away a path and you're laying layers, and that strengthens over time. When you show up at that altar, that is what you're doing when you're sharing your life through your offerings, art, the time, the presence, through showing up and then living. You are strengthening, you are activating them within, because when you get to that altar, you always know that you're activating it within you and expressing it out here. This is not something new. We have done this thousands of years, because we know we are here to work together with spirit. Spirit knows the power of itself to shape this realm. And so what you are doing is saying, I want to be responsible enough to reshape this with you. Will you help me? I am ready. So now what do we do now? Okay, because we know some of the blocks. These aren't all of them. These are some major ones that you might have already ran into. Let me know if you ran into, or maybe you stopped. Look, if you're willing to be honest, here, you can release it. You can let it go. That fear, that might have stopped you. You don't know how to deal with it. That's why I mentioned it, because it's natural, but it shouldn't stop you from what it is that's calling you, because it's a reason that it's calling you. So what do you do right now? Okay. Firstly, I want you to feel what you've been holding. If one of these blocks has been going on in your life, or is just stress, work, survival, I want you to cry, okay? I want you to let yourself set a date with yourself to just feel all of that stuff, okay? Because what you're going to do is now start a new relationship, okay? So move your body, laugh, dance, maybe do all of them. Make a whole day of it, right? Because what you're about to do is you're going to start blessing yourself back to life intentionally. And this is going to create more self-trust. You need to trust yourself just as much as you trust your ancestors, and you can do them at the same time. You're going to lay an offering on that table. Place one on your own self, your own heart, okay? Run a bath, light a candle, treat yourself, take yourself out in your honor. Okay. And that very same day, you might commune with your ancestors, right? Because this is the ritual. You can ritualize the whole day and take out 10 minutes, 5 minutes to be quiet, to connect out in the sun, connect in your space, put the phone aside, no music. It's you and your breath. Sit with it. Because in that stillness, spirit is there too. Spirit is there too. And when you are ready, the next thing that you can do to support removing those blocks is to set up a physical anchor. Maybe you have space to light a candle in their honor and say, I'm ready to commune, and sit in that stillness, right? 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And you can say, I am the continuation. I am already connected and I am listening now. You don't have to believe it. You are just suggesting, and whisper it. You are suggesting. I said auto suggestion. Speak it sweetly. Even if you don't fully believe it, your ancestors hear the intention, they feel it. They are already there. Remember, you're remembering it. You're rewiring your relationship to them. That removes these blocks. A little wisdom. Your ancestors chose you before you were born. You chose you before you were born. That line did not break, but the awareness did. You are still a chapter in a larger book of your lineage. And you're here now, which means you are already doing the work. They're ready for you, ready to offer you support. Keep it simple, keep it sacred. And drop a comment and tell me which block hit home, okay? I read all these, even if I don't always reply. But I always want you to remember that you are always connected to your ancestors. Babe, you sacred, never basic. And may the wisdom shared here open new paths in your life. May your ancestors continue to walk beside you, not in front of you, and with you. And may your journey unfold with clarity, power, and peace. Now, I want you to watch the next video because you might be dealing with this issue. Going to be signs that your ancestors are already speaking to you. I experienced these myself, so I want you to go ahead and watch that video. That's going to help you understand. They was already talking to you. I done told you that you were always connected, okay? Now meet me over there.